So this presentation is really for all the people who are like currently in like a standoff with like an angry goose, and they just don't know really what to do and how to deal with them. Um, like maybe you just walked into like a park and you saw a couple of goose there and a couple of geese there, and one came up to you and you didn't really know what to do, and they looked kind of angry. So you hastily looked up a presentation on your phone to figure out how to deal with a goose. Um, so if that sounds like you, then you should probably be watching this video right now because it's gonna be a helpful one. So let's just jump right on into it. Um, so one thing is that geese can sense geese can sense your weakness. So if you like look away for a second, then they kind of know that it's time to strike. So you just gotta maintain eye contact with the goose, cause geese they're very hostile and scary. So if they're able to intimidate you at all, they'll and to get you to like look away, then their predator reflexes they'll like kick in. So definitely don't turn your back to the goose, because otherwise they'll probably charge at you and jump on your back and peck you in the face and stuff. And that would be a bad position to be in. So just keep on looking at the phone. Sorry, at the goose. Um, I guess actually right now while you're watching this presentation, you should be looking at your phone because this is important stuff. But as soon as you get back into the encounter with the goose, then you'll have to just be maintaining eye contact. Don't look anywhere else. Just look straight at him and try to, show that you're not going to be like an easy target for the goose. So if in an encounter with the goose where you're attacking a goose, one of the most effective attack methods is sweeping the legs, because geese have like tiny legs and they're super easy to knock over. They also have horrible balance. So if you're just able to get them on the ground, then maybe you'll be able to run away in time before they get back up on their feet. So if you don't really know what sweeping the legs looks like, I have a helpful animation right here. So just watch this. Wow, that was crazy. That's what it looks like to sweep the legs of a goose. And whenever you're attacking a goose, this is one of the main things that you have to do. Make sure to attack the goose. It'll show who's the boss, and the goose will end up, on the ground, and that's a huge oral loss. So the goose will not really be able to recover from that one. So that's why you should be sweeping the legs on every single goose that you encounter. So now that you've beaten the goose up in physically by sweeping the legs, it's now time to show that you're a mentally um, competent individual. Now, geese are very smart, so you have to really prove that you're smarter than the goose. And one good way to do this is to challenge the goose to a game of chess. Geese they love a good game of chess, but they haven't developed all the strategies that humans are. So even like a new chess player who isn't really that good will probably be able to easily take him out. Um, if you don't know how to play chess like at all, then you're kind of screwed, and the geese will probably end up eating you. And that's just your fault. You gotta be prepared for geese encounters. You gotta learn chess. I myself am a chess grandmaster, so that whenever I run into a goose, I'll be able to defeat them in a game of chess. And as soon as you show that you're mentally above the goose, or like a mentally on par with the goose at least, the goose you'll have gained the goose's trust, and that's great because now you're basically you're basically a goose now, because you've defeated the goose in a physical matchup and in a mental matchup. The goose knows that his equal, his peer, and now that you're on a level playing field, it's time to move on to the next step. Next step in your relationship. That's why you should be seducing the goose. Geese, um, they're very lonely animals. They don't often have mates, so that's why you should be seducing them because they're super easy to seduce, or seduce as I like to call it. Just present them with a nice flower, or maybe like a bread, like a piece of bread that's been carved into the shape of a flower. That's always a good one. I keep around 3 of those in my back pocket just in case. And even just normal bread will probably be enough, but it's better to do the carving. It's better to spend your nights carving a piece of bread into the shape of a rose, because the geese love that, and then you'll be able to become the goose's lover, which is pretty good because now you're not really in danger of the goose, and now you've befriended the goose. You've become the goose's lover, and next it's time to move on to the next step in your guys' relationship, which is marriage. Of course, you should be proposing to the goose soon. Of course, go on dates first, take the goose out to dinner, pay for the goose's dinner. Many fancy restaurants are completely open to geese being allowed in there. Like I myself have taken hundreds of geese into fancy restaurants, and it's worked out completely fine. But geese, they're not really able to tell the difference between a real diamond and a fake diamond. So when you're proposing to the goose, you don't even need to get a real diamond. You can get a fake one. You can get some like rhinestones or something, because geese, they can't tell the difference. They don't have great eyesight like that. So and then you'll be able to lead a happy marriage with the goose, which is great. Although hopefully it's a happy marriage, because for some, marriage is on the rocks. This is bad news, but unfortunately, it's basically a required step in this plan. Because in order to be able to get away from the encounter with the goose unscathed, because you're still in the encounter with the goose, you're gonna have to, leave the goose at some point, which might be difficult. But one great way to do this is just to be really mean to the goose. Like whenever I'm married to a goose, I always get drunk, super drunk every single night, and then I come home and I punch the goose in the face all the time, and I yell at the goose often, and I physically abuse them, and mentally too. I cut them off from their friends, from their geese friends, which is obviously that's a great step. But you just need to build up in the goose's mind that maybe you're not a great partner and maybe you're super mean, and eventually they might force you to attend marriage counseling, because you gotta give the illusion that you're not trying to leave the goose. Because honestly, geese marriages can be extremely successful and happy. Like I myself am in a very happy marriage with a goose. So actually, if you're able to attend marriage counseling for all these for your rocky marriage, then that will be really excellent, because you do want to be married to the goose, because having a nice marriage with a goose is really great. So if you can come out of marriage counseling successful, marriage with goose, completely saved, salvaged, rekindle your lost love in the relationship, and then that will be like a really good thing, because we all love geese. I myself love geese. I have geese mistresses along with the goose that I'm married to. Don't tell my goose wife though. And if you're able to get with the goose, and that's really good. Although unfortunately, although it might break your heart, you're gonna have to divorce the goose after this because your marriage counseling didn't even work. Which is really bad news because you love that goose with your whole heart. And you might end up turning to alcoholism, kind of like this guy did. You could see a bottle of I don't know what that is, but it's definitely not water. And this goose has completely dumped him and taken half of his money, which is pretty sad. And also, the goose took the kids, which is pretty sad. Um, so you might be feeling pretty weighed down after being divorced to the goose that you love so much. But don't worry, you have successfully survived the encounter with the goose, and you've made it out completely unscathed. Although you have lost half of your money and your goose children, which is pretty sad. But it's a price worth paying in order to be safe in your goose encounters. All right. Now another good tip for when you run into a goose is just to maintain eye contact and then slowly, really, really slowly back away because you don't want to upset or intimidate the goose. So if you just back away really slowly, if you just start sprinting and turn your back, then the goose's predator instincts will kick in and the goose will start charging at you, which is not good. But luckily, if you just maintain eye contact and slowly back away, then you'll be able to escape the situation unharmed and pretty quickly, and the goose won't get aggressive with you. So that's why you should back away slowly. All right, thanks for listening and learning. Because this has been my presentation about goose encounters. So if you find yourself in a future goose encounter, then you'll be prepared to be able to get away from that situation pretty well. Um, uh, you should subscribe to my channel. We make goose related content every single day, and stuff like that. I myself love goose. Love geese. I have 300 pet geese. So I'm a goose expert. That's where these excellent tips came from. So if you were doubting my expertise, then you should just listen to my geese, because they'll tell you that I'm a goose expert, which is really cool because I love geese. So basically, that's why you should be. That's what you should do when you're in an encounter with a goose. Oh, by the way, if you were in an encounter with a goose, and then you hastily looked up this video, then now's a good time to get back into the encounter with the goose and use these tips that I told you, and that'll fix your that'll keep you safe, and you'll be able to get away from that goose really safe. So I hope that you enjoyed. Sorry, not enjoyed. I hope that you learned, because this is not like for entertainment. This is purely educational. If you even smiled once, then you're banned from this channel. Sorry, but it's just the way that it goes. This is purely serious. All right. Subscribe for more Goose content, and bye.